And the first few stocks that I traded with the techniques that it was taught in the webinars, I managed to actually earn back all my course fees. So that gives me the confidence, right? I want to continue for a longer term.
Hi, so this is Jarod we have with us today. So he is a member of our Malaysia Mentorship Program. So Jarod, welcome and thank you for doing this for us today. So perhaps you can start off by telling us a bit about yourself.
Sure. My name is Jarod. I've been a member for the Malaysian club for almost a year now. I have a professional day job.
So in that case, before you actually joined ChartNexus, our mentorship program, how have you been trading all this while?
I started my trading journey roughly 2 years back. I started after attending a trading seminar by also another guru from Singapore. But the fees that time were actually 3 times more than what I paid for subscribing to ChartNexus. It taught me very useful fundamentals. However, those techniques were really not benefiting my trade in Pusa. So it was a lot of fundamental analysis, and it required a lot of hard work and Excel calculation actually. So after that, I tried out on my own because having a day job, and at the time also I have a newborn baby. I don't actually have the time to do all this self-study that's needed. So, my trading is kind of like gambling, either it's big or it's either small. Actually, I have more losses than win trade at the time.
I see.
After I started to follow the tips, after that, I started to follow some tips given by friends and relatives, based on the hearsay. I can say I actually made almost any type of mistake when, a new person like myself started to do stock trading. And for almost a year, and to be honest, right, I almost gave up. I was really about to quit. Yeah.
See. So then how did you come upon, ChartNexus?
Yeah, when we are lost and I'm lost, right, I try to find any reasons, I try to look around, giving excuses why I was not successful. And then, somehow, the Facebook algorithm kind of what to do, right? Capture what you want to say.
Yes.
And suddenly the ChartNexus public webinar pop up as a video in my Facebook. I click on it, and then I started to trail the videos, look into YouTube, saw the recordings. And, that was a year ago, and I have been a member ever since after watching the videos.
So perhaps you can also share with us, now that you've joined ChartNexus, or rather when you joined ChartNexus, what difference significantly that you see help to change the way you trade, or your journey as a trader? How has it transformed it?
And the first few stocks that I traded with the techniques that it was taught in the webinars, I managed to actually earn back all my course fees. So that gives me the confidence, right? I want to continue for a longer term. And, so whatever that I earn after the course fee is considered a bonus. And what really is interesting is Mr. Ee Hwa, actually the mentor, right, has opened my eyes. Now, I never knew trading can be very simple. You said cliche earlier, but after listening and learning these techniques, right, at least the way that he explained this makes it look so fun, and actually trading is not very complicated. And what I've learned here during the membership is actually a skill that I truly believe I can use for a lifetime. I learned to read the chart patterns. I learned about the fundamentals, the value of the stock, what are the signals to enter and exit. And of course, the very important discipline of cutting loss, right? When things are not really fitting out right. So these are all very practical and useful and easy to understand, coming out from the mentor's mouth, right? I mean, with his experience. My trade is becoming more consistent. I still lose money. Of course, it's like I said, it's not silver bullet, right? It's not every trade I will win money or I want profit, but I am no longer worried when my stocks are losing money. Because the market moves up and down, and actually it doesn't move in a straight critical line, right? So at least I know that the stock that I pick is actually value stocks based on the learnings from Mr. Ee Hwa. So I can say I enjoy trading so much more now compared to before, right? Before I signed up with the ChartNexus Club. So trading is actually quite fun for me now.
So now that we have actually several tools included in the subscription. So we have Telegram alerts, we've got the weekly meetings, the live meetings conducted by Ee Hwa, the training tutorial videos, and then we have obviously the ESP Master Pro software. So out of so many of these modules, tools, or support that we actually provide to you as part of the mentorship program subscription, what do you find most beneficial, or what do you like most?
I like the ChartNexus apps where Ee Hwa will quickly share some of the things that is important and for us to consider. Of course, it's not the buy sell call that's more important, right? It's more of like sharing of ideas. That's what we do in the community. We share ideas and we apply the learnings that we have got from the teachings. But what I find good, there's a few things that I like very much. The one thing that I like is also the tool, the ESP Master Pro. It's actually a fantastic tool for a person with very limited time like myself. I love I love and adore the fundamental analysis that was automated for us in the tool. It is so easy for me to search for the valuable stocks to buy, I don't have to do the calculation on my own, and it saves so much of my time and effort. no, I'm here to make money, like you said. We are all here to make money, and I'm not here to do calculus exercise, right?
All right.
I mean, that was fantastic. And to be honest, one of the things that I appreciate most after joining the membership is that it is very fun to be in a group like this, right, with the like-minded people discussing and sharing ideas. Then trading alone in the market can be very lonely and very gloom. But because in the mentorship program, I think it is very comforting that Mr. Ee Hwa is always there to provide motivation because he has so much of experience in the market, right? He knows and what is happening and when is it going to turn good again. So he gives a lot of support during the weekly webinars and even in his chat in the Facebook group. He gives a lot of insights and also guidance. We can ask him questions on how he thinks about certain stock and give us a point. It's very practical. It's really usable and on time. Some of the mentorship is like, I attend the training, you go venture on your own, and the success or failure is up to you. But the mentorship actually guides you in the market itself. Like you were saying, Ee Hwa himself is a trader, so I find that very useful. And what I really like is that the friendship and also some of the members that we kind of chit chat in the group and we encourage each other, right? We share the joy when we bought the right counters and we frown together because we sing together also, right? So it's not alone. And I can confidently say that joining the membership is actually the best investment that I made for myself. That is truly from the bottom of my heart. I enjoy trading much more. I make friends. I learn about the market. I learn how to trade, and I think this is something that I will continue to do until I retire or even beyond my retirement. My mom, actually, she is also trading as a leisure, and she watched Ee Hwa's webinars also every Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Yes.
She often come and ask me, what happened to the webinar? How come no more? I said he changed the frequency already. She misses the classes a lot. Now, she's not trading for a living, but she enjoys the class. So even for a person in the 60s, find his method easy to understand, is useful. And I can tell you she lost a lot of money in the stock market as well. And ever since she followed Ee Hwa, even from the, I gave her a bit of tips as well after learning a bit, right? And then, but she watching his webinar and the public seminars, at least she made much more positive trade than losing once. I know she burned herself as much, I think 2 or 3 times more bad than myself. But ever since she's following, then she understands the concept and she's also making more consistent trade as well.
Do you recommend our mentorship program to your friends, your family members?
Well, absolutely. I have friends asking me to how is it to sign up with the ChartNexus. I've given all the honest feedback, right? It's like I said, it's not all about winning or profiting. Of course, if you can, that's great, right? But nobody can predict how it goes. But having this, learning the method and having this community, it actually helps very positively. So I encourage, and for anybody who wants to trade in the Busan market or in Singapore market, right? Don't just dive in. Just don't think that you know everything. Actually, there's so much to learn. But I would recommend that, and I can encourage that going to ChartNexus method it will be one of the good investment that you will make in the journey of investment. So I would refer any friends who wants to trade to join the club.